Hello everyone and welcome back to another DrAce video. Today I am going to show you how to get the best possible sector times within the Misano World Circuit of Marco Simoncelli. We're going to be using Marco Bezzecchi and this is the MotoGP Academy game mode. So on the right hand side of your screen is the PS5 controller overlay that I use. Take a look in the description down below if you want to see what each individual button does. But if you're okay with that, let's crack on with the guide. So across the line then we're going to start braking just before you reach the rumble strip on the left hand side of your screen there. Nice and casual, gentle braking as we go quite deep into turn 1, turning nice and tight, using a lot of trail brake into the apex of turn 2 and then onto the right hand side. Gently feathering that throttle not to bring on the power too abruptly. Brake just where the green is on the left hand side there and start moving in to follow the lines of the AA right-hander and then into the line there to get the sector time completed. So we are going to start from quite far back here in the Misano first sector. So that way you can prepare yourself, change your traction control settings and then dive into the Misano corner, preparing to use the ride height device to enable the bike to keeping it from wheeling. Now braking just before the end of that pit lane on the left hand side, turn in nice and tight to the apex turn 1, and as you get on the right hand side here, look how much front brake and rear brake is getting applied to the second corner. Now onto the right hand side, you're going to square up the Ducati, get close to the left hand side and start braking just after that white line on the left hand side, and now into the double apex right hander, keep it in nice and tight, smooth on the throttle, bouncing it around, and then through into sector 2. So from sector 2, the autopilot is going to drop you in a pretty bad spot really, because you're already on the lean angle. Now you need to move the bike over and start using the ride height device. It might take a few goes just to get that right, because the autopilot does leave you in a bit of a perilous spot. Now great advice for the Leclercia corner is coming out of that corner there at standard RPMs and standard transmission. Pretty much when you see the bike rev limiting and hitting the top end of 5th gear, then you can start to brake. It pretty much works every single time for the Leclercia corner. So now out to the autopilot, quick change electronics, move into the left hand side there for turn 6, use your ride height device, careful not to exceed track limits, and listen to the bike screaming away, top end of the 5th gear, start braking in nice and calmly into the apex of Leclercia, now onto the power, short shift a few times just to avoid the wheelie, and across the sector time to achieve the gold. Now for sector 3 you're going to finish, it's going to basically do Quercia for you, so then you can take over, and then from out this corner you might want to upshift again just to make sure the bike doesn't wheel too much. Start braking on the right angle there as you get close towards the white line on the left hand side of your screen just before the rumble strip begins for the Tramonto corner. Now get onto the acceleration and get close to 6th gear. You can either upshift there or stay in 5th or even reduce down to 4th, which I do there, but it does require you then to upshift again into 5th gear as we now lean into the right hander for turn 13. Prepare yourself to the right hand side and that should achieve the gold sector time. Now for Cavone, it is the fastest corner in MotoGP, so it's extremely difficult to get right, and to be honest with you, it is going to take a lot of practice to ensure you go into that corner with the right amount of speed. That can all be built up here from Tramonto, went a little bit too early on the power there, but as we get onto the power, do not use your ride height device, challenge through the gears and then get up to the right hand side, into the tight apex of Cavone, drop into 5th gear, or stay in 4th or 5th if you can, and then move over to the right hand side, braking on the angle all the way into the apex of turn 13, where there you can secure the gold sector time again. Now sector 4 is a bit of a tricky one here in Misano. It does seem a little bit unfair to get the gold here, so just be careful. But you go into the into the Caro corner here in Misano onto the right hand side. Don't downshift to 1st gear there, because it is a bit difficult then to get back onto the power without spinning up the rear too much. Brake just as that rumble strip ends there before getting to the Misano corner, tight to the apex, ride height device applied, clip the apex on the outside or clip the rumble strip and get across the line. Unfortunately, that's about 0.8 of a second slower than required for gold. A bit of an unrealistic sector time, if I'm pretty much honest with you in this video here today. So into turn 13, nice and tight to the apex, onto the power and brake as you get to that white line. stay in second gear, because as I say, it's a bit too easy to then wheelie and burn up the tyre as you get onto the power in first gear. Move into the left-hander for turn 15, straighten up, hit that hit the brakes just before the rumble strip ends, then hit your ride height device, straighten the motorcycle up, and charge across the line to complete Sector 4 as well. So now it's time for the complete lap. Once again, you do start quite far back here in the final lap here, so just prepare yourself, change your electronics on the fly, brake right there before the rumble strip ends. Now use your ride height device to get onto the power to secure a nice position and speed ready for turn 1. So braking there into the apex of the right hander for turn 1, position in the middle of the circuit, and now turn to the left using a lot of brake to turn the bike in for turn 2. Same again to the right hander, but just a little bit less brake this time around. Look over to your left hand side, there's the white line, start braking in, quite abruptly, quite firmly into Rio corner, and then use the apex of the right hander to bring you into turn 5. Now onto the left hand side, be patient here for the ride height device, you don't want to apply it too early. Out to turn 6, and then listen out for the bike. There it is, screaming at the top of its lung in 5th gear. Once you know it's time to move to 6th gear, that's when it's time to get onto the brakes. Now onto the right hand side, turning over to the right there for turn 9, now into Tramonto, just trail braking all the time into that right hander. Now back onto the power, careful not to exceed track limits, get into the gears, and then right here as you get close to the curb there, turn in for the right hander of turn 11. Now continue on the right hand side, clip the apex to turn 12 and begin to brake immediately in preparation for turn 13. Onto the right hand side once again, this time for Caro, and slowly bring on the power. I tend to feather that throttle quite a lot there just to avoid spinning up the rear Michelin tyre for the Ducati. Now onto the power, brake right there as that rumble strip ends. Went a little bit too late than I would have wanted there, but hopefully as we get onto the power, we should still be able to achieve the gold lap time, only just this time around. So let's see this one more time before we call it quits, and then I will leave you guys to enjoy Misano in its fullest form. So into the left hand side, this is the Misano corner. Get back onto the power nice and early, but in a calm and controlled manner. Cross the line, start braking now, just before you get towards the rumble strip. Turn into turn 1, back onto the left hand side, using a lot of brake to turn the Ducati in to the tight apex of turn 2. Now onto the power, just slowly bring on that power again. Move over to the left hand side, start braking as you get close to the white line, and then turn in to the double apex right hander. Hit the curb there on the exit and back into the apex for turn 5. Careful upon the wheelie in that change of direction. Hit the ride height device and get on to try and avoid the curb if you can, but it's okay if you do. Listen to the top end of 5th gear. Start braking as you get into the La Quercia corner. Now you can either leave your braking as late as possible by really listening to the scream of that 5th gear, or you can go the second you hear the brakes, but just be gentle upon the brakes when you hear the bike screaming at the top end of 5th gear. Now onto the power out to the right hand side. Had a bit of a wheelie there, so I got caught onto the curb, but it's not really a problem as we now turn in just gradually. Have a look at that left analog stick, it's just gradually moving into the right hander there. Touch the apex of turn 12, continue to downshift all the way to second, into the right hander for turn 13. Start braking on an angle there for Caro. Once again, really tight to the apex, gentle on the power. Went a little bit more aggressive than I should have done, but it's okay because we're still very much on it for the gold lap time again. Brake at the final corner by going near the apex and hitting the brakes, trail braking all the way into the Misano corner, onto the power to secure the gold lap time once again. So there you are then guys, that is it from me. I certainly hope you enjoyed this video. If it's been helpful, let me know in the comments section down below, and do not forget to subscribe for more content just like this. Guys, thanks for watching, see you in tomorrow's video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.